From mysterious black holes and planets made of diamonds to interstellar dust clouds that contain enough alcohol to last for 1 billion years. Here are 15 of the strangest things ever discovered in outer space. Number 15. El Gordo Galaxy Cluster. Basically translating as the fat one or the big one from Spanish, this celestial body is located some 7 billion light years from Earth. Containing a mass that is some 3 million billion times that of the Sun, you won't find a more massive grouping of galaxies in the distant cosmos. When the universe was half its current age, El Gordo had already attained its enormous size. Number 14. HD 189733b. While scientists search the galaxies for signs of extraterrestrial life, we found one planet that's already been scratched off that list. And it's strange because the impersonally named HD 189733b has a pleasant blue coloration that is somewhat reminiscent of Earth. But this huge gas giant has a mass some 13% greater than Jupiter's, and because it orbits its host star in just over 2 days at a speed of 341,000 miles per hour, it's sometimes referred to as a hot version of the Jovian giant. With temperatures of 1700 degrees Fahrenheit, HD's blue coloration is actually the result of a lethal weather pattern that's rain composed of molten glass. 13. Hypervelocity stars. A meteor entering the Earth's atmosphere is called a shooting star. You know that, of course. But what do you call a star that shoots through the cosmos at millions of miles per hour? Well, scientists refer to the phenomena as hypervelocity stars, and they were only discovered around 10 years ago, give or take. They're created when binary star systems are consumed by the supermassive black hole at the galaxy's center. As these two forces collide, one of them is absorbed while the other is ejected at hyperspeeds. So far, astronomers have located about 24 of the huge fiery balls of gas hurtling out of our Milky Way galaxy at thousands of miles per second. Now, in theory, experts suggest that hypervelocity stars could approach the speed of light and might even serve as a means of transport for extraterrestrial life. 12. Smith's Cloud. Did you know that experts anticipate this huge high-velocity cloud of hydrogen gas to merge with the Milky Way? Well, it'll happen in about 27 million years, which means there'll be plenty of time to prepare for that event. Not that you would be able to miss it. Cloud is as massive as 1 million stars and spreads over an area that's 9,800 light-years long and more than 3,000 light-years wide. If our eyes could detect radio waves, Smith's Cloud would appear about 20 times as wide as a full moon in the night sky. 11. Waterworld. Gliese 581c is a planet about 50% bigger than Earth and around 5 times more massive. Located just over 20 light-years away from our planet, experts feel it might be a candidate for future colonization. That's because scientists have calculated the planet's mean temperature between 32 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning that it might hold conditions suitable for the formation of liquid water. But there are some caveats to be aware of too. Because it's located closer to its star than the Earth is to the Sun, Gliese 581c is in a state of tidal locking, which means that one side is always facing the star, while the other side of the planet is always facing away. The side facing the star would have temperatures hot enough to burn you alive, while staying on the opposite side, which has no sun, means you could freeze to death. But in between the two extremes is a small, habitable belt known as a habitable zone, which makes sense. That's where life might exist, theoretically anyway. 10. Boomerang Nebula. Now, if you ever want to visit this nebula, remember to dress warm. Located around 5,000 light-years from Earth, this is considered to be the coldest place known in the universe, so far anyway. With temperatures plunging around minus 458 degrees Fahrenheit, it might be a while before finding a frostier locale. And it's no slowpoke either. The nebula is expanding approximately 367,000 miles per hour. That's about 10 times as fast as the New Horizons spacecraft, the fastest object created by humans, although proponents of Voyager 1 might argue that point. Now, this galactic phenomenon was named the Boomerang Nebula for a couple of reasons. It is a reference to the Australian Observatory where it was detected by astronomers, and the name also alludes to the shape of the nebula, which is curved, not unlike that of a boomerang. 9. Sextuplet Star System. The Castor system is something of a galactic bargain. You actually get 6 stars for the price of 1. Chances are you've seen this sight because it's the second brightest star in the Gemini constellation and one of the brightest stars in the night sky. If you want to be exact, and who doesn't, Castor is the 20th brightest star in Earth's night sky at around 51 light years away from us. Orbiting around a common central mass, the 6 stars of the Castor system are more than 50% more luminous than our Sun. 8. Lots of water. Since water can point to signs of life, scientists are always seeking planets that possess conditions that are capable of forming the vital liquid. Now, located some 12 billion light years away is a supply of water that is 140 trillion times greater than the amount of water found in all of Earth's oceans combined. Experts say it's a colossal cloud of water vapor that is hidden inside a distant quasar, that is a luminous galactic nuclei that contain a black hole some 20 billion times more massive than our Sun. Spread around the black hole and spanning hundreds of light years is the gaseous cloud of water vapor. The environment of the black hole itself seems to play a role in producing the great quantity of water, even though it makes the liquid almost impossible to get to. At 20 billion times the size of our Sun, the black hole generates energy equivalent to that produced by some 1,000 trillion suns. 7. VY Canis Majoris, one of the largest stars yet discovered. This red hypergiant resides in the constellation of Canis Major. About 3,900 light years from Earth, it's too faint to be detected with the naked eye. But if placed at the center of our solar system, you would not miss it. From that location, experts say that the surface of VY Canis Majoris would extend around 990 million kilometers, which would actually stretch past the orbit of Jupiter. 6. Priceless planets. What would you buy for someone who has pretty much everything? Well, how about a diamond? One that is the size of a planet, for instance. 55 Cancri E is located about 41 light years from our Sun and has about 8 times more mass than Earth while possessing twice its diameter. The super-Earth has dayside temperatures that can reach 4,200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot enough to melt titanium. That intense heat, along with pressure exerted from its former binary star partner, helped the planet's carbon core transform itself into crystallized diamond. Experts say that about a third of the planet's mass is actually composed of pure diamond, which, along with graphite and some other silicates, cover the entire planet. There have been a few reports that dispute claims of 55 Cancri E being a true diamond planet, but those disputes lie with the planet's carbon-to-oxygen ratio, which might not be as high as initially thought. But still, some conservative estimates claim the diamond planet could be worth up to some $27 nonillion. Now that would be the number 27, followed by 30 zeros. 5. Himiko Cloud. Discovered in 2009, many experts feel this nebula gas cloud might be the most massive object ever discovered in the early universe. Spied from nearly 13 billion light years away, it might represent the primordial stages of the universe when it was only 800 million years old. Now, if size matters, consider this. The Himiko cloud is estimated at 55,000 light years across, meaning it spans almost half the diameter of the Milky Way galaxy. Now, in terms of sheer mass, cloud holds the rough equivalent of some 40 billion suns. If you're curious about the name, Himiko is the name of a 3rd century Japanese shaman queen. Other sources, like Space.com, have named the phenomenon the giant mystery blob discovered near the dawn of time. Which name do you think is better? 4. Cosmic Booze. Now, if you're fond of adult beverages, here's some good news and some bad news. Located some 10,000 light years away from Earth in the Aquila constellation, there is a humongous cloud of ethyl alcohol, an estimated 1,000 times the diameter of our entire solar system. This cloud holds enough alcohol to supply some 400 trillion pints of beer. Now, to get rid of that booze, each of us would have to down about 300,000 pints every day for 1 billion years. So that's the good news. Bad news is the cloud is some 58 quadrillion miles away, and it contains more than 30 compounds, which include ammonia, hydrogen cyanide, and carbon monoxide. Close to the center of the Milky Way galaxy, you'll find a dust cloud called Sagittarius B2. It contains billions upon billions of liters of ethyl formate, which gives rum and raspberries their respective smell and taste. Again, the bad news is that this cloud contains compounds like propyl cyanide, which is pretty well guaranteed to kill your buzz, along with you. Exactly how and why these huge clouds of intergalactic alcohol form is still a mystery to scientists, but it is nice to know that once we colonize the galaxy, there'll be plenty of booze out there to help us chill out. 3. Unlimited power. Somewhere in the center of the galaxy, about 2 billion light years distant, is an enormous black hole that scientists believe holds a huge cosmic jet. Now, that jet is thought to generate a massive electrical current equal to that of 1 trillion lightning bolts. A giant magnetic field allows the black hole to fire up lightning bolts up to 150,000 light years away through the dust and gas. Now, to put things in perspective, a single one of these lightning bolts would be more than 1.5 times the size of a galaxy. So in this case, AC would stand for awesome current. 2. Trifid Nebula. Now, along with some really scary stuff like black holes that are found in the universe, there are also some true works of art. Now, for proof, look no further than the Trifid Nebula, discovered in 1764 and located about 5,000 light years away from Earth. Now, in the late 20th century, astronomers used the Hubble Space Telescope that used filters to create images of how the nebula might appear to the eye. Those composite images resulted in colorful pictures that can suggest forms not unlike unicorns, in addition to other familiar shapes and objects. 1. The Pillars of Creation. Now, these unique images were initially taken by the Hubble Space Telescope on April 1st, 1995. However, this was no April Fool's prank. The formations of interstellar gas and dust are located in the Eagle Nebula, about 7,000 light years away from us. The dramatic name was inspired by the gas and dust found in the process of creating new stars. Space.com named the pictures as one of the top 10 pictures ever captured by the Hubble telescope. Now, while many people see pillars, others have remarked that the formation resembles a human hand reaching out across the galaxies. What's your interpretation?